guys, good morning. Good morning, guys. It's Mr. Weekly. This week, your lesson is going to be lesson 3 on Article 1, the legislative branch, Article 2, the executive branch, and Article 3, the judicial branch. This first lesson is due today at 3:20. The second lesson, lesson 4, is going to be due Thursday by 3:20, and then lesson 5 on Article 3 will be due Friday at 3:20. When you're done, that's when you need to go into Google Classroom and submit it. I didn't want to hound you guys with a ton of Google Classroom stuff, so that's why I put all of the assignments in there. Well, real quick, let me show you just some of the notes that I went over with my class. You basically have two houses in Congress. The House of Representatives based on population. And here are the requirements. You have to be 25. You have to have been a citizen for 7 years. You got to live in the state that you're representing. But they only serve a 2-year term, and they're all up for re-election every 2 years. There are no term limits. Versus the Senate, we have 2 per state. So regardless of the size of the state, each state gets 2. You got to be 30. You have to have been a citizen for 9 years, and you have to live in the state. Senators, sen meaning senior, they serve a 6-year term, so it's a little bit more prestigious because you're serving the entire state. And a third of them are elected every 2 years, and again, there are no term limits. If you did the math when they came out with the Constitution, this is when you would have had to have been a citizen. They were trying to make sure that everybody was indeed loyal to the country, to the new country. Okay, some of the requirements for both houses that's outlined in Article 1 is there has to be a record of votes, they can be fined or expelled, and a majority must be present. Well, what's a majority? A majority is 50% plus 1. Okay, their main goal, the main thing they do is they create laws. Okay, they make those laws and they present it to the president. The president can sign them saying yep, okay, veto saying nope, I don't agree with it, or what's called pocket veto, which isn't even mentioned in the video. A pocket veto is when they literally put the bill in their pocket and sit on it and don't do anything, and because of that, it doesn't get passed. However, Congress does have a check on the presidency because Congress can override that by a 2/3 vote. You may run across a quiz question that says by a majority vote. Well, that should actually be a 2/3 majority vote because it takes a lot. It doesn't happen that often. I think George Bush was the last president that had a veto override. And the way a bill becomes a law is first it's introduced into committee, the committee reviews it, it's debated on the floor, approved by vote, and then it goes to the other house. It can originate in either house, and then it goes to the president. Okay? In Article 1, they talk about expressed powers and we talk about implied powers. Expressed powers means that they are specifically stated. The government can coin money, they can tax, they can borrow, they can regulate trade, they can maintain an army, they can declare war, they can admit states to the Union, new states, and they can propose amendments to the Constitution. Now, some things are implied. They're not specifically stated, but they are implied because they left themselves an out, and it's called the necessary and proper clause. Okay, now that's kind of debatable. What's necessary and proper? Because the Constitution says that Congress shall have the power to make all laws necessary and proper. So that's kind of vague, and they did that on purpose so they could pass whatever laws they wanted to and things. However, they've got some limits. They have to protect the right of habeas corpus. That means trial by jury. They cannot pass bill of attainder. That means you just get thrown in jail for no reason and you're not even accused of a crime. There can be no official religion. That's in the First Amendment. And there can be no ex post facto laws. In other words, I can't pass a law today that makes something illegal that you have already done in the past and then charge you with the crime. Okay? So that's Article 1 in a nutshell. The legislative branch passes laws. Their main goal is to create laws. See ya.